Welcome to day 2 of the 24th edition of the Standard Bank St. John's College Easter Rugby Festival. We've got a match up here between St. Charles College and Graeme College. I'm joined in commentary by Sviso Nyao. Sviso, you know quite a bit about St. Charles, being from the Maritzburg area. Did you have a chance to have a look at them on day 1?
Yes, I did a bit. They were quite clinical in their game. They played Daniel Pienaar. They managed to beat them by 22 points to 0. So far they're still yet to, of course, concede a point. So let's see how they do today.
Yes, so the 2018 season wasn't the best for St. Charles, winning 4 out of 12 games. And this year they've had losses against Marklaas and against Kersney. But on day 1 they had a resounding victory, as Fiso just mentioned, 22-0 win over Daniel Pienaar. As we see them here today, there was a bit of a colour clash with these two schools having the similar strips, but thankfully Sanity's prevailed. As we can see, St. Charles playing in the white, embarking on a game plan of keeping it tight with one-off runners just off the base. They've been able to maintain control. Samiso Ngubani at number 15 is a player who really showed a turn of pace. It's a superb try in the first round game against Daniel Pienaar. St. Charles Wells just maintained possession there. They look really composed, really confident team. Swings the ball out wide. It's number 11 there, Cecilia. And the first try of the game coming to St. Charles within two minutes here. And it's that man again, number 15, Samiso Ngubani.
Yeah, so far that was definitely a good build-up towards that try. They eventually did beat Graeme College around the outside. It was an incredible start for St. Charles, of course. You do see there the scrum off playing it wide, a nice long pass with a beautiful take before breaking the line of Graeme College. Then the ball is eventually offloaded to Ngubani, who finishes off very well to score the first points of the game. And St. Charles are 5-0 up at the moment.
Absolutely, and a team playing with great confidence. We mentioned that their early season results in KZN haven't been the greatest, but with JJ Ford lining up the kick here, they seem like a team with wind in their sails.
Unfortunately, he's hit the post there, so you will not be adding that extra 2 points. And of course, it is St. Charles taking on Graeme College, and St. Charles are up 5 points to 0. And we're just 3 minutes into the game, so still a lot of rugby to be played.
Absolutely, and Graeme College, of course, winning 11 out of their 17 games last year. In 2019, they've won 4, lost 3, and had an impressive 14-all draw against Dale College, a powerhouse of the Eastern Cape. They lost to Windhoek Gym on day 1 in a game that had over 60 points scored on the scoreboard. And today they've conceded first, but they'll just be looking to consolidate, keep possession, and strike back here early. The ball's taken up down the middle. Very similar to the earlier game plan of St. Charles, giving the ball some air here. Bit of shimmy and a step by Shele in the midfield.
But of course, it is Graeme College who are still in possession of the ball as they look to just pick up and go, showing the patience early on. Maybe it is something that they could need to get them through this game. Just another pick up and go there, straight off the base. And it does seem to be working for them. You know, Bryce, I do feel that Graeme College should definitely use their backs a bit more, because we saw in that first game that they played, they were running very well. Of course, it is a traditional thing there in the Eastern Cape to play rugby that way, to keep it in hand and keep running. The classic running rugby, that's something that they do best.
Absolutely, and there's some big boys in the St. Charles side, maybe trying to match them up front is possibly not the best tactic when you have that sort of pace that you mentioned outright. They're used to throwing the ball around. It's the culture of the Eastern Cape, and it looks like the counter-ruck is a good one from St. Charles. They're challenging, but Graeme have managed to maintain possession.
And so far it does look incredible for Graeme College as they move the ball around, and a little bit of a step there and an offload, and it is played wide eventually, but That man is eventually tackled. At the moment, St. Charles are holding on very well to try keep the Graeme College boys moving that ball around within their backs. Some great defending so far taking place, as of course St. Graeme College are still on the attack, just outside the 22-meter area of St. Charles. And the ref has eventually blown for a scrum to Graeme College due to that earlier knock that took place just inside the 22-meter area of St. Charles College. It's going to be interesting, Bryce, to really see how the scrumming happens today. And of course, we can see the St. Charles pack does seem a bit bigger than the Graeme College pack. So, interesting. Do you think perhaps the game will be won there in those set pieces?
It will, but obviously for Graeme College, we've seen where their strength lies, and you mentioned it earlier. I mean, just looking at the offload that we saw there from number 13, Butlebetu Planga, they've got some real enterprising play out wide, so they'll want to get the ball out as quickly as possible. Having said that, we're looking at the size of the St. Charles boys. It doesn't always equate, to dominance up front. It's all technical. It's all on, how well the boys are coached and who's really up for it today. St. Charles, as you mentioned, are a team that will be confident after day one, but Graeme will be a team that's got a point to prove. They went down in their first game against Windhoek Gym. But, they're a team that's done well in the Eastern Cape so far this year, and they want to get their season back on track with a good victory here today.
Yes, no, definitely. And of course, it is a Graeme College feed as it's played quickly out. Some interesting running happening right here, right now, with Lukanya Sam taking the ball in at the moment and falling just short. And of course, the move does carry on with Graeme College. They're currently in possession of the ball, and the ball is being thrown around quite nicely here. Quite a spectacle for the supporter as well, who's witnessing this. As the ball is played out wide quickly to Yanga Bangisa, who's played it quickly to Sfundo Dube, who's taken the ball in. Played in short, as Graeme College look to edge closer to that try line. Playing in a very dangerous zone for St. Charles as the ball is played out wide. It does look like a little step inside, and but unfortunately it does seem that St. Charles are doing the business in terms of their defending as they look to push Graeme College back. Graeme College continues to throw the ball around with a long pass. Bangisa there. Bangisa breaks, and Bangisa is looking to slide it under the poles, but he just puts it next to the poles. Of course, that does mean Graeme College are level on points with St. Charles at 5-5. Of course, awaiting the conversion, which will be coming up in a few seconds. Bryce, that was a brilliant try.
Yeah, as we see the replay here, the one thing you notice about Graeme College is that they're very comfortable to have forwards in the back line because they've got the skills to have a spin pass. It doesn't matter what number they have on their back. And you'll see here Bangisa with the fend, strong runner, stocky in the legs. And as much as Ngubani would be disappointed with their defensive effort, when you've got a player who's got a fend like that, it's very difficult to stop with close quarters.
And of course, right now, stepping up to take that kick is Zasuke Kepa, who does look to add the extra 2. And of course, take the lead from St. Charles. Kepa, he just makes it, and of course that is the extra 2, so the points now have shifted with of course Graeme College taking the lead, leading St. Charles by 7 points to 5 with the kickoff still to come. Of course, if you've just joined us, we are officially on just 9 points into the game, so we look forward to a lot more rugby to take place.
So the next two added as well. It's 7.
Kickoff. Just a reminder, of course, that you can engage with us on various social media platforms, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We've noticed how parents, supporters, old boys from all over the world have tuned in to watch some of their friends, family, and alma mater continue the fine tradition of schoolboy rugby that we have in this country. With absolutely stunning and picturesque backdrop of St. John's College here.
And of course, the handle there that you can, of course, get this rugby at is on Facebook. It's School Sports Live. And the hashtag for Twitter is SSL Rugby Live. And that's St. Charles with an attempt to clear. It was quite a successful one, just falling just inside the Graeme College half. So, of course, St. Charles will now definitely look to get back on top of things, but at the moment it does look like the team from the Eastern Cape are slightly on edge despite conceding really early.
Yeah, we saw on day one, particularly where in the evenings where it was a bit the ball got a bit wet. There was more of a territorial game plan, but here for St. Charles, they just don't want to give Graeme the ball. We see how destructive they can be with ball in hand. They want to keep the ball for as many phases as possible. As Graeme has the ball here, they're not looking to clear. They're not looking to use the boots. They're looking to go right up the middle with their mobile loosehead prop here, Mukele.
And of course, Graeme College now still on the attack, and it does look like that Buhlebetu Planga with that powerful run, but he's cut short very quickly, and now it's being fed straight off the ruck, and it's played around the outside, and it's looking like a decent move, but of course St. Charles sniffed that out very quickly, and it's cut quickly, and now we do look for Graeme College who are looking to reset and pick it up and run it short, but they quickly cut out of their move, and now as they look to prepare something different, perhaps that could eventually break that St. Charles line, but St. Charles keep resolute and they really keep Graeme College out as Planga grabs the ball, looks for a little step, but is also cut short. And it is fed off the ruck now. Played in almost short, but just wide. And it's Sam there who picks up and is also tackled. Is come off with a little step and a little handoff. But it isn't so effective. Graeme College are still well in pursuit of that other try that they definitely looking for right now. They're really working really hard, playing the ball short and just perhaps tiring, and it is there. Bangisa Planga. Graeme College still well in control here, showing a lot of patience as well, something that perhaps that they were missing in their last game against Windhoek. This time around, looking to really take their time in their movements, because of course in that last game, Bryce, they would make quite a few mistakes, because just from, I think it was a bit of panic, maybe perhaps it was just those first game jitters.
Yeah, a few cobwebs, I think, but we can just see here they're more than capable of building multiple phases, and when you've got a forward pack whose handling is as good as Graeme and as skillful, they're happy to stand out on the line. It's not a case of forwards getting in the way. There's no mismatches. Having said that, St. Charles have done well to turn the ball over there.
It's definitely a crucial place to actually turn that ball over, because of course they were in great danger of perhaps conceding yet again, but Graeme College will definitely also ask themselves the questions of maybe we should have executed a lot better to actually get right up in their faces a bit more, but of course St. Charles get an opportunity to survive, and the ball is eventually hoisted into touch, and of course just over the 50-meter line. So it should be interesting how the line out for St. Charles goes, because we did see that first line out with Graeme College, who did very well and is taken very well by St. Charles, and it's played quickly as the ball's played in short. JJ Ford feeds it out. Graeme College definitely looking to cover things out, and it's a little grabber there, sent in. Close call there for Graeme College, but they do regather right inside their own 22, and they do have the advantage for that penalty after the knock from St. Charles, but the ball is eventually cleared out and finds touch in a more comfortable spot just inside their own half. Of course, the puts in now for that line out will be placed towards St. Charles.
Yes, Stephen Scott, the fly half in St. Charles, it looks to be a player who's able to dictate play here. He uses his wingers very well with cross kicks and cut out passes. They go up the middle, but a big hit there Again, coming from the Graeme, loose head, Mokele. But St. Charles here with possession. And Gubani were looking to rectify his earlier mistake when Graeme scored. And a great break here coming from fly half, Lukanya Sam. And he's forced the error from St. Charles, taken the ball out of play, meaning Graeme will have the put in 5 meters out. Very dangerous part of the field. One thing we've noticed is that Graham's open side flank, Raven Bush, is off the field. He was a critical player, strong ball carrier. They'll be missing him. But again, it's taken up strongly by Mokele. He's clearly a key player, a key ball carrier here.
And perhaps there Theo Shelley would have loved to actually play that a lot wider, because there was a two-man overlap there. But of course, his side, Graeme College, still have possession at this moment in time, as the ball looks to get fed out by Cullen Williams, who does play it, eventually play it to Shelley. Oh, there's a little dab through. Shelley tries to chase, but unfortunately it is kicked out. And of course, the referee now does look to go back to the advantage that was happening earlier on for an earlier on infringement. So it's a penalty. So it's interesting to see right now what Graeme College will look to do. Perhaps will they look to find touch, or maybe just opt for that scrum? But it does look as if they're keen to just tap and go. Maybe perhaps take on St. Charles physically straight up. But no, decision has changed. Officially, it is that scrum option. Better choice, Bryce, would you feel? Being, of course, so close to that try line.
Yeah, obviously you get the 8 defenders are taken out of the game with the scrum. Having said that, you know, we know that St. Charles is a school that prides itself on its set piece. You know, will they go for a strong counter scrum here, or they just look to, you know, perhaps their loose forwards pop their heads out and make sure that they cover their man defensively? Be interesting to see what Graeme do here. They've got quite a significant blind side, and obviously a strong right wing in Bagisa. They do go blind. It's number 7 for Graeme, Makalima, who scores. And for St. Charles, the coaching staff, that was far too easy in terms of how Graeme was able to just break through the defences.
Of course, that try was, of course, very, very interesting. It was I really felt that was the better option, to just pick that up and just play it out wide. And of course, it is that man who did manage, Makalima, who did manage to cross over eventually from close range. And it is, of course, now Graeme College who look to add that extra 2 just to make that point deficit a bit higher. And of course, it is a very successful kick from Zusake Kepe, who does add the extra 2 and brings the score now to 14 points to 5. Of course, it is Graeme College taking on St. Charles, and Graeme College at the moment are enjoying a beautiful lead, not just on the scoreboard, but of course just another look at that try. It was that pickup straight from the base of the scrum and played out wide to that man number 7, Makalima, who then eventually dived over to get the 5-pointer. Of course, that was converted, and it is St. Charles now who gets play underway yet again. But the kick is eventually knocked on by Graeme College. But the advantage now is still on for St. Charles, as they pick up. Carl Reed picks up and is eventually tackled, but it is a little dab through. And St. Charles do have some chases there. Garrett Fryer does pick it up, but unfortunately it is intercepted, and it does look as if it's a knock, and the advantage still stands for St. Charles for that knock. And of course now it is a scrum, an opportunity for St. Charles to really get into the faces of Graeme College now, and perhaps they would love to actually try and get something from this position, because looking at the scoreboard, if they concede yet again, it might just become a bridge too far.
Yeah, so for St. Charles, we've seen now these teams have sized each other out. We've seen the strengths of Graeme College. If they're able to turn the ball over, you know they're able to score from any area. Having said that, you really want to push them into their own 22, make it difficult to play that all-out attacking game. So Stephen Scott at fly half for St. Charles. You feel is going to use the boot quite a bit. Is going to look to turn the wings of Graeme College, and he's done well so far. This is the area that St. Charles want to play. Whether they have the ball or not, they have the put in here. To me, it looks like they might use their sizable midfield they've got. It looks like Sasia has gone into the centre. It's a stocky ball carrier, usually playing on the wing.
The ball is eventually fed in and played out quickly. And Graeme College do scramble to try defend this move from St. Charles. And it's played in short. Maybe it'll be good for St. Charles just to try to play through the phases and just keep that patience as their number 10 there moves in very quickly. Is eventually played in close. St. Charles will need a lot more men there to clean up, and it is Jared Duplessis who takes that one in and tries to stay up on his feet, but is eventually taken to the ground. And of course it is St. Charles who are still in a very good position as they edge closer to that try line. And it's in a perfect position because if they go under right now, it will be straight under the poles and make the kick a lot easier for the man looking to convert. And it unfortunately there the pass for St. Charles doesn't go according to plan, and it falls to the ground. But fortunately they did have the advantage earlier on from an early infringement right close up by the faces of a Graeme College. And of course St. Charles now have another opportunity. It's played quickly to Sisaya again, who does find it very hard to really get over that line. But now it's even closer. And it is St. Charles still keeping the possession and playing it quite patiently. It's played a lot wider as they edge closer and closer to getting that 5-pointer. And of course is that man Stefan. And St. Charles look really close right now. They could just be able to maybe cross over that whitewash. Oh, and unfortunately it does look as if it was dropped, but St. Charles still do have the advantage, and the ref has decided to blow it again, and it's still in a very good position, Bryce. I really feel they could really still cook something from here.
Yeah, they've got some big ball carriers here, and in fact it goes to their tight head, Eric Ortman. He's strong carrier of the ball. Looks like they might have been held up. Indeed they have. So they get to put into the scrum. And they've just shown their hand there. Have St. Charles. Can see their strengths. They've got some big boys that can able to knock it up from close range. Having said that, some great defense from Graeme College. Size-wise, there might have been some mismatches, but they were putting some really good hits, some gutsy defense, and they've just shown St. Charles that it's not going to be easy for them to cross the whitewash here.
Of course it is that put in for St. Charles. It's moment of time, and it is played wide. And it's getting closer and closer to the poles as St. Charles edge closer and closer to getting that try. It's eventually played wide just under the poles, but it does look as if perhaps he is holed up. Graeme College keep very strong in defense, but it still is another scrum to St. Charles right under the poles of Graeme College. So it'll be interesting to see how they really play this one. Maybe perhaps another 8th man pickup to actually just make matters a bit easier, and then look maybe for that offload. Like St. Charles would definitely need to take a page out of Graeme College's strategy earlier on the opposite end, Bryce.
Yeah, and they really have to score as St. Charles, because if they don't, it'll be such a confidence boost for Graeme College to put in such a great defensive display, and St. Charles comes away with no points. But it looks like they have managed to score. Great effort there. Again, we've spoken about Sasia being such a strong ball carrier. He drew 2 defenders, managed to get the ball out to his teammate. We just want to see exactly who it was who scored.
Of course, that will definitely do a lot for St. Charles there. that try did eventually come through Simiso Ngubane, the St. Charles fullback. That'll definitely be a confidence booster, because I really felt that if they hadn't scored there, that really would have knocked their confidence down and perhaps really boosted that of Graeme College, like you mentioned earlier on, Bryce. So should be interesting to see now with the kick pending what happens, because if they knock it over, they cut the deficit to just 2 points.
Absolutely, and it's still early in the game. You don't want to talk about game-changing moments this early on. But you feel if St. Charles didn't come away with a try there, it just would have lifted the spirits of Graeme College, and it really would have been a dent to the confidence of St. Charles. Having said that, they did manage to score, as we see here, coming off the back of the set piece. Again, they use number 11, Sisia, to draw as many defenders as possible. He makes a good offload in the tackle to that man in Ngubane, who's been one of the standouts, certainly one of the standout backline players of this tournament so far.
As now we look to get the game back underway. It is Graeme College in possession of it after just conceding to St. Charles. And of course the score right now is 14 points to 10 with Graeme College in the lead at the moment. And of course, with that kickoff not going the required 10 meters, it does look as if St. Charles will get the put into the scrum.
Yeah, difficult position to scrum here, centre field on the cricket pitch. It's fantastic conditions underfoot here at St. John's, but there are still reminiscences of that cricket pitch. It's just not going to be easy for the front rankers to find their footing. Perfect opportunity to launch an attacking play here for St. Charles. It's not the exit, you would say, that Graeme College would have wanted. Gives St. Charles a chance to attack left or right. They go to the right here, and again, it's that man in Ngubane gets over the advantage line. Big hit there, but St. Charles players are bouncing off tackles. They're definitely playing with the type of confidence you can expect from a team that's just scored. They're looking to go ahead before the break. They're not content with 2 scores. And it's left to bounce around. Difficult for the back players there of Graeme College, and the net result is a fantastic field position towards the end of the half here for St. Charles. Perhaps, Safisa, more of the same of what we saw in the last score.
Yes, of course. Though St. Charles will definitely have a lot more confidence now, especially considering that they've just come from that position of being right there with that last scrum that they had. And of course it did lead to the try eventually that saw them get closer to Graeme College on the scoreboard. So right now this is going to be incredible to see what approach they decide to take this time, as we see the St. Charles boys at the moment still discussing perhaps what move to take on the scrum.
We see number 22 for St. Charles, Garrett Fryer, standing directly behind the scrum. Be interesting to see if he's used as a decoy, perhaps a runner on the inside shoulder of Stephen Scott. He's moved across. It looks like there is some set play there. Scott takes it up himself. It means there could be an overlap on the right here. If St. Charles use it, they choose to go in close quarters with Andrew Beiruti. Again, Scott has the ball. Resolute defense by Graeme, but they've given away the penalty.
Perhaps I feel in this situation, Bryce, perhaps St. Charles should just go and take the 3 points, because looking at the time as well, we're really approaching half time, so perhaps you just want to get the points on the board rather than just taking the risk. But it does look like St. Charles are going to look to hit the line and set up a line out in still a favorable position where they can still get those 5 points, of course, through a try. So it'll be interesting to see now what they do with that line out.
Yeah.
Of course, the better option would probably be to maul the ball up and try get in the faces of Graeme College, because of course they do have the bigger pack, St. Charles, and the slight weight advantage that could help. And it is hoisted to the back, but unfortunately it goes wayward, and it does look as if Graeme College have knocked it on. And of course the ref does call the move back, and it is another scrum right in front of the poles.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the penalty would have been a far better option there in that it would have been a 1 point game. The penalty was in front of the post, almost a gimme almost a guaranteed 3 points. Having said that, St. Charles backed themselves at the line-out. Set piece didn't go to plan. Graeme College had an opportunity to exit. They made a crucial error because for St. Charles, they couldn't have asked for a better position to launch an attacking platform. What I would really like to see is number 8 for St. Charles, Kyle Reid, pick up and go. He looks like a strong, balanced runner with quite a bit of pace. Having said that, when you look at just how well the St. Charles backline have done off first phase, you would back them to possibly attack from the right here and no doubt use the numerous skills of Simiso Ngubane.
It is, of course, a reset now of that scrum with the referee not being happy about the first attempt at scrumming. It's still St. Charles puts in. So still a good opportunity for them to get on the scoreboard just before halftime as we hear the sound of that buzzer that signals halftime. Should there be anything that stops the game and the ball is fed in, and it does look like St. Charles do still have it, and they currently clean, and the ball is played straight off the base of the ruck as St. Charles look to just edge a bit closer and closer and set themselves up well just before halftime. As the balls move quickly, it does go to Jared Duplessis, who eventually goes down and sets up a ruck there. And the ball's played out quickly to Stephen Scott. Ball's eventually played out wide. St. Charles look now to get a little bit closer, but perhaps this could just be a definite confidence booster for Graeme College, who are defending really well, and perhaps if they don't end up conceding, it would definitely help them as St. Charles throw the ball around and throwing it wide, and of course eventually the ball is lost. And it does look like the referee has blown for the penalty to St. Charles again in an even closer position, which now gives them a real good opportunity perhaps, because of course now they can't really kick it into touch and get that line out due to the time being up already. So St. Charles do look like they've opted for the scrum. Bryce, do you think that was a good decision instead of just taking a quick tap perhaps?
Yeah, you would back their front rankers with a quick tap, but what they do have with the scrum position is that they've got a significant blind side to work with. It'd be interesting to see what they do there. You know, they've got their solitary player on the right-hand side, so it doesn't look like they're going to use that option. They've got some fantastic strike runners to the left, and that's exactly where they go. Scott with the ball. A bit of a slip there by the St. Charles right winger, who's at that point was playing in the centre. Might have been turned over by Graeme. No, it's not. Scott again takes it up himself. He's a powerful runner, but it looks like he's lost the ball in contact. Turnover ball, an opportunity for Graeme to just kick it out.
And they do eventually. And that is officially half-time, and we do see Graeme College still enjoying a slender lead now, just 4 points up with the score at 14 points to 10 against St. Charles. St. Charles will definitely kick themselves going into that half after failing to actually get the points that would give them the lead. A decent half of rugby there, Bryce. Really enjoyed what we saw. Both teams are very competing very, very well. And it's a tightly contested match as well, so an interesting one for the neutral, especially.
Yeah, two evenly matched sides, and definitely an exciting second half to come. We look forward to seeing you then.
Evolve with the next generation Galaxy on SA's best mobile network. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus for only $899 per month on a 24-month MTN Made For Me S contract. You get 20 gigs free data plus 2 gigs every month for 12 months. We got you. Sign up for upgrade at an MTN store today. Everywhere you go, MTN.
I'm Kagiso Rabada. This is the Standard Bank Forex Speed Track Challenge.
Standard Bank has asked the Proteas to help them demonstrate the incredible speed of the Shift Forex trading app.
Our customers are shopping on their phones, they're booking their travel on their phones. It made absolute sense to bring foreign exchange to their phones.
Kagiso will step onto the pressure sensor at the crease. This will trigger the trade on the Standard Bank Shift app. May the fastest win. It's confirmed. The Standard Bank Shift app lets you trade at speeds equal to that of South Africa's fastest bowlers. Because Standard Bank knows when it comes to Forex, time isn't money, speed is. Download Shift from the App Store and start trading right now.
Why choose supersonic fiber? Life is complicated, but getting fiber shouldn't be. Supersonic fiber is the simplest connection you will ever make. Signing up is easy. Our 5-step application process is not only free, but will also give you the exact speed required to ensure your family can browse, stream, game, and work with ease. Essentially, it's Internet U.0, designed around you and aimed at making your fiber experience hassle-free. Our on-site stream team will install your free Wi-Fi enabled router and connect all your devices to ensure that you are 100% up and running. They will also conduct a free Wi-Fi coverage assessment before leaving your home to ensure that your home has 100% coverage. The Supersonic app provides you with full control so that you can manage your account and create a package that suits you, giving you the freedom and control to upgrade or downgrade as and when you want. Our smart Wi-Fi app, powered by Plume, offers you 100% control of your Wi-Fi ecosystem. Kids spending too much time online? Limit their access. Granny needs to get on Facebook? Give her instant access. We give you total control of your entire home from anywhere and at any time of the day in the palm of your hand. All with no contracts, no nonsense, just internet. Go ahead, sign up today. It's the simplest, smartest connection you will ever make. Visit supersonic.co.za.
Well, welcome back here to day 2 at the St. John's Easter Rugby Festival, and it's still a tight exchange between St. Charles and Graeme College, the men from Pietermaritzburg and Grahamstown respectively.
Ooh, a bit of a blunder there for Graeme College. Something that we really see in rugby. We could definitely call that a schoolboy era. It would make sense in terms of this match. Of course, it is just schoolboys just trying to have fun and playing rugby with a smile. But it does look as if the referee has awarded that scrum to St. Charles due to that bit of a blunder from that kickoff. So it's an opportunity perhaps for St. Charles to just pick up from where they left off. But this time they'll get a nice start from the 50-meter line.
Yeah, perfect start from St. Charles, and uncharacteristic error there from, I think it's Kepa in number 22 jersey. He's had a good game and a good kicking display so far. But again, we see Scott using the boots and using it well, just evading the grasp of Ungubani. Those two have worked well so far in the first half and indeed in day 1. So St. Charles give up possession, but it's in the area of the field that they will want to play for this entire second half.
And there's a Graeme College feed into that line out as they look to really set something up from here. And it does look like it's gone a bit backwards. It is Kepe who takes it in. It is tackled. St. Charles are really eager to get stuck in there. As you see, two of their big boys getting really stuck in, but it is Graeme College's Sam who does eventually find touch and clears his lines just inside his own half. So it would be a puts in for St. Charles to try to get an opportunity, but their lineouts today haven't been too bad, so we'll see. Definitely this is an opportunity for them to really get things going yet again.
Yeah, they've got a very, very good second row there in Beiruti and Lanes. Gives the St. Charles backline opportunity to launch through the midfield and attempt turnover there from Graeme. St. Charles managed to keep the ball in hand. It's judged to have gone forward. Just unlucky for St. Charles because it looked like that man again in Ngubane spotted a half gap. Managed to break through the initial defences of Graeme.
The scrum is now set to be taken by Graeme College with the puts-in at the moment. It'll be an interesting one to see how this one plays out. Perhaps maybe Sam will look to kick for the corners as well, because there does seem to be a bit of space on his side. But before we get to that, the referee has decided to just chat to the props a bit about that scrum. He wasn't happy with the way perhaps the boys from St. Charles were set up for that one. And it is a reset as the two look to battle it out again. As a puts in for Graeme College. As the ball is fed in and played off the base to Sam. Sam does look to pass it short, and it does look like Bangisa Utlebetu Planga takes it in, and he's running quite well. And it's Sam who regathers after that wayward pass from Planga. Graeme College still in possession of the ball, but it does look like the ball has gone out of play, so it will be a line out, it seems, to St. Charles. So another opportunity for St. Charles to really clear their lines now. Of course, after Planga, they're coming really close for Graeme College. And of course, that line out has been judged to have gone skew.
Yes, so you mentioned earlier how the St. Charles backline was lying really flat. So much space in the backfield for Graeme College, for Lekanya Sam to exploit. They almost tempted him to go for the kick, but when you see that the perfectly timed pass from Sam to Planga at number 13 and the way he was able to cut through the line, when you've got that talent in the back line, you want to use it all day. St. Charles unable to exit successfully there, and for Graeme, great attacking position here.
As the ball's quickly played out wide, and it's played inside real quick. Does look like it is Yagisa Bangisa who does cross over for Graeme College. A beautiful work move there, just off the scrum, and it's played inside, and it does seem as if it's scored by that man, the winger, Yanga Bangisa, who does really well to really break that St. Charles line and add the extra 5 for Graeme College, who now are up 19-10.
Yeah, as we see the replay, one thing we notice about Graeme College is not only the strength of their passing, but the timing of their passing. Able to just draw the man in the last minute, a little inside pass there. The defenders left flat-footed. Nothing they could do from that range. And again, we talk about Eastern Cape Rugby, how good the players are with ball in hand. As the kick is lined up here, it just looks like it went to the right. So unlucky there from Kebe. But we mentioned how St. Charles needed to score quickly to keep this match tight as a contest. The deficit's only 9 points, but again, a psychological blow there coming from Graeme College.
Graeme College will definitely look to get straight back into things again. If they really want to win this game, they'll really look to score again and just dent St. Charles' confidence just a little bit further, as Graeme College do get possession of the ball off that kickoff. It's played quickly to Sam. Sam quickly clears his lines, but the ball bounces just in the middle of the park, and it's regathered by St. Charles' Menzi Glotlo. It is eventually tackled, and the ball is a little box kick. It's played over with Mushebetu chasing.
Well, the call there from the referee has been that the St. Charles players pushed Planga when he tried to regather the ball. As a result, he spilt it and they went over to claim the try over the try line. There's some support on social media for the Saints boys, for St. Charles from Pietermaritzburg. They really would have liked to have scored there. What I would like to really see from St. Charles is them just using the sizable tight 5 pack they have. So Graeme College unable to clear the lines, unable to find touch. An opportunity again for St. Charles to break, as they do again from Ngubani. It's that man again. He's broken a few defenders, throws the pass that's intercepted. Graeme have a chance to break out here. There's a massive overlap on the right-hand side if they can just move the ball, but it's been turned over from St. Charles this time. Tackled in the midfield. St. Charles look to consolidate. It's number 20 there for St. Charles. Powerful carry. Yeah, Zimgidi. Oh, great turnover from Graeme. On the right-hand side, they've got numbers. It's that man Kebe again. He throws the ball out. It's flung out. Stepping in the right-hand corner from Planga. He's been instrumental today. Ball's been taken out. It will be the line out. But for St. Charles, with an opportunity to score, they now find themselves 5 meters out from their own line.
Yeah, there was a brilliant move there from Graeme College. He really fought hard to actually regather the ball. And we do see there that move again with a beautiful gather there for Graeme College, with Planga eventually receiving the ball and stepping inside and out before being tackled just out into touch just before the St. Charles try line. So that was an incredible move from Graeme College. So should we see more of that? I'm sure next time they'll be able to finish it off very well and add the few points that they need to actually try to secure the game.
Absolutely, and it's we were just chatting about these two schools, how similar they are. They're both from, small towns with strong rugby traditions. St. Charles, of course, being in Maritzburg, competing with the likes of Maritzburg College, Hilton, and then Marklaus in the Midlands. Graeme, coming from Grahamstown, cross-town rivals, or Kingswood and St. Andrews. It's, there's just no easy fixtures for them. They play some really strong schools throughout the year. They're both teams who like to fling the ball out. They're gutsy defenders, and they're certainly teams that can't be underestimated. And for such evenly matched teams, it's all about execution and playing well under pressure, as we see St. Charles feed the line out, going to the backfield. So some gutsy play there, backing their own systems and structures. It's cleared there by Scott by the looks of it. It's a good clearance, but it's well taken by Graham's right winger Bangisa. He's been destructive today.
So it is Graeme College right now. Still in possession of the ball as they pick it up quickly and play it in short. But it does seem the ball has been dropped and the advantage is lying towards St. Charles, who seem to have turned it over anyway and do have an opportunity now to clear their lines. And they do just that. But it's played straight to Lukanya Sam, who now charges up forward, a little step inside and out. And he's held up. And he's eventually tackled to ground. And this Graeme College now, who need to give their backline some clean ball in order for things to run smoothly, so they're able to just run and throw the ball around like they famously do. And it is Graeme College who still remain in possession. It's a little chip through there into that corner. That's so vital. And Bangisa is the one who chases down. But it does seem St. Charles do gather, but the referee goes back to that penalty advantage. So now it's another opportunity for Graeme College to get some points on the board perhaps, or maybe just get closer to that line.
Yeah, I think they'll go for the corner. It's just going for poles is just not what you would expect from an Eastern Cape school, and that's indeed what they're going to do. Kepe perhaps not having the greatest confidence in terms of his distance. The kicks for post that he has got over have been accurate, but haven't got the greatest distance. And again, their backline has been so clinical, and their forwards as well with ball in hand. They just want to keep the ball in this territory, build up as many multiple phases as possible, just starve St. Charles of possession. And if they can get another score here, it's going to be really difficult for St. Charles to come back into it.
Of course, it is Fundo Dube who feeds in there as Graeme College look to maul that one over. They keep going, but St. Charles are standing strong, pushing the Graeme College boys back now at this moment in time, as Graeme College now look to set up a ruck, but does seem like The ball has been eventually turned over, and it is a scrum awarded to St. Charles.
Yeah, we mentioned the relative strengths of the two teams. And St. Charles, one thing they do have going for them in this match is that they've got a very powerful and well-drilled forward pack. So Graeme, you would think, were just playing into their hands there by keeping it tight and not unleashing this backline that we've seen today can cause so much damage. What it's done is that it's given St. Charles an opportunity to clear their lines. I think their scrum half has spotted the possibility of a blindside run. But a great counter scrum from Graeme. St. Charles quickly get the ball out. They saw the rising of the wolf. They could possibly lose possession there.
St. Charles, of course, now in possession of the ball as they look to just get out of their own half. And it is Scott there who clears, but his opposite number, Sam, does collect it and then kicks it straight back into the St. Charles territory. As now he runs up to try chase down his own kick, but it's kicked straight back again. And collected by Graeme College as Shele looks to move forward, but is unfortunately tackled just over in the 10-meter line. Graeme College still seem to have that possession of that ball, doing well, but of course they have seemed to have knocked that one over, and it does look like it is a St. Charles College scrum.
Yeah, Graeme play a high risk, high reward type of game, so they'll always look for the offload, always look for the opportunity to put the man away. Of course, that doesn't always work out. For St. Charles, one of their tactics defensively has been to spoil the ball of Graeme College, get in between, two players in the back line there, just making it more difficult for them. And as we see there, it's worked for them. They've regained possession here. It looks like Scott is not actually standing in the first receiver position. He's been using the boot quite well all day. Looks to be a wheeled scrum there.
It does look as if it is another reset. Bryce, I've noticed there've been quite a lot of problems with the scrums today. We've seen the ref having to recall the scrum and reset it every now and then. You think perhaps maybe it's something the coaches really need to revisit at training?
Yeah, I think it's both teams trying to assert their ascendancy up front. It is messy, but I think what the referees at this festival, what we've seen is they've just tried to play a game of advantage and continuity and get the ball out where possible. The free kick's been awarded to St. Charles. Graeme perhaps getting ahead of themselves and a bit excited there. So it's tapped by St. Charles, moved through the hands, through this exciting backline of theirs. We mentioned their number 11, Sasia, what a stocky and strong runner he is. Ball's put to boot there by Scott. Perhaps the wrong options, but they've managed to regather.
Sam does well there to regather right in the 22, and of course the referee has blown St. Charles again and given Graeme College that penalty. An option again for Sam to really huff the ball straight out of his own half, perhaps, and get into the St. Charles half, but unfortunately he scuffs his kick a bit and it just falls slightly in front of him, just on the edge of their own 22. And of course it is Fundo Dube who will feed in for Graeme College. An opportunity for Graeme College to really get their boys running there out the back. And it is, of course, played out nicely. And it is Graeme College who still have possession of that ball, as they now look to fight their way out of their 22-meter area. It is Sam who decides to step, a little step, and it's played out wide immediately to Kepe, who's eventually pushed right back. And now it is Mangisa who's got the ball with a bit of a step, and we definitely know that man has got the wheels, and he does step past another defender, but it is eventually held up. And it does look like he could perhaps be taken to, and he is eventually taken to ground. And the ball is kept alive, and Sam does look for that cross kick. But there is a man there, Ruben Jacobs, who is eventually able to collect. And the referee eventually awards a penalty to St. Charles there.
Yeah, let off there for St. Charles. All sorts of pressure coming on Ruben Jacobs. He was isolated with quite a few Graeme defenders chasing him down. But they just looked like they were ahead of the kicker there. On 2 occasions in this right-hand corner, we've seen St. Charles concede penalties when potentially they could have put extreme pressure on Graeme and almost forced a turnover. They've got another opportunity here through the set piece. Jared Duplessis to throw in. There's men down in backfield for Graeme.
I think perhaps it is the legs that are starting to tell, because we are 18 minutes into the second half, which is in fact 48 minutes, because each game is 30 minutes here at the St. John's College Easter Rugby Festival. So hopefully that man there can find his feet again and get going once more.
Yeah,
because I'm sure we definitely still have entertaining 12 minutes still to come.
I think what these boys are used to is obviously normally in the regular season playing 1 game a week. Here you're talking about playing 3 games over the course of 5 days. So what's critical for the coaches is to rotate their squads as much as possible, use the bench, especially if a player, a key player gets a knock or a niggle. You really should potentially get him off the field as soon as possible to preserve him for the season. Having said that, it looks like he's going to run it out for the remainder of the game. For St. Charles, they'll look to launch here. The clock is ticking. They really need to score soon to use this superb set piece that they do have, although it's gone awry here. Some poor passing around the ankles of their teammates. I mean, it's a slight knock on there by the looks of it from JJ Ford. He's unhappy. He seems to think that he managed to regain the ball, but it is a put in to Graeme just to the left of midfield.
Yeah, it is a put in there for Graeme College. Another opportunity for them now to move the ball again. Every time Graeme College do have a scrum, it's always really great to see their backs get running, because the way they throw the ball around is really fascinating. As we see the ball played out quickly to Sam, but he opts to kick. Kicking for that corner that we spoke about in that first half, Bryce. That perhaps, and the kick does look like it just stayed in, with Nathaniel Sisa carrying the ball up. It's eventually tackled. St. Charles set up once more, and it's played in short. But Graeme College still doing the business, managing to keep St. Charles at bay. The ball is now fed up into the St. Charles backline. It's played out wide. Oh. You see an inside pass, but it does look to have been thrown a little forward. So the scrum has been eventually awarded to Graeme College. In an even better position now, an opportunity for them to really try hit it up and really cause some pressure to the St. Charles side, with, of course, just under 9 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, the St. Charles coaching staff pulling their hair out there. Was a great opportunity to exploit that left hand wing. There was a lot of space there, potentially a bit of an overlap for the St. Charles backline players, and possibly a mismatch with the forwards of Graeme College looking to cross cover in defence. Having said that, they have made the error through the forward pass, let Graeme off the hook. An opportunity for Graeme to launch her, but again, a offence at scrum time gives the ball right back to St. Charles. They tap and go. They would need to use this backline. A bit of a strange pass, and it hasn't gone to hand. Eventually regathered by Sassia. We mentioned what a strong runner he is. Takes a few players to bring him down. Box kick coming here from St. Charles. knocked on. And a chance here for St. Charles. Well, it's ruled to be a double knock on. If it wasn't, there was a great opportunity for St. Charles to break there, potentially score.
Lukanya Sam there currently on the ground after just knocking that ball on. I'm sure perhaps he just saw what was in front of him and he got a bit of a fright and it really put him off his stride, causing him to knock that ball on. It does seem as if he has done a bit of damage to himself, and it does look as if maybe it's something in his back, but hopefully it's not something that's too serious as we see him slowly try to get up onto his feet.
Yeah, he's played well today. He dictates the play well. He's got a strong left boot, which is obviously difficult for a lot of defensive sides to deal with. He spotted quite a few gaps in the backfields, pushed St. Charles back into the corners of their own 22s. He's a bit ginger, but he's got back to his feet and he'll play on. Defensively, he's moved back to the fullback position. Opportunity for him to perhaps counter-attack if St. Charles do choose to put the ball to beat. Looks like JJ Ford for St. Charles, the scrum half, has moved to fly half with Scott moving to centre. As it's released, a quick snap there from 20 from St. Charles.
And it's St. Charles now on the attack with Scott playing it out wide. And it does seem like, oh, that one's a bit high. Smiso Ngubane there, taken a bit high, but the advantage does seem to be on the side of St. Charles as the ball's eventually played through. Ooh, and it's almost an intercept try there by Raven Bush for Graeme College. But unfortunately, he does eventually knock it on, and the referee goes back for the infringement on that high tackle. So it's an opportunity now for St. Charles to perhaps get a little closer, because they definitely need to get the 7 points if they want to get within Graeme College's grasp. And of course, the score at the moment does see Graeme College up 19 points to 10 against St. Charles College of Pietermaritzburg.
Yeah, from the set piece here, you would just think that St. Charles, it might be a good option for them to embark on a rolling more, draw in as many defenders from Graeme as possible. But it looks like they've lost the ball at the front of the lineouts. It's an unforced error there. Really, if they wanted to get back into this game, they can't afford that sort of error. Sam shimmies, runs it out, throws it out to his right-hand wing. He's taking the ball up well. He's on the 10-meter line of St. Charles with quick ball, an overlap on the left-hand side here. If they just move it through the hands, skipped out to number 23, Declan Delamere. He's a strong runner, stocky ball carrier. He's possibly been taken high. And indeed, that's what the ref awards. Decision time here for Graeme. I'm not sure if it's in kickable range. Perhaps not the worst option to go for the kick, just to wind down the clock here.
No, Bryce, I think it would definitely be a good decision, like Sam is looking to take. So just find it in the corner there and try perhaps keep possession there in that corner, because we do see the clock really ticking down with, of course, just under 5 minutes to go. So it'll be interesting how they really play this one out. St. Charles, of course, do need to get the points very quickly if they still want to see themselves winning this game. But at the moment, it's all Graeme College. And of course, they are right in the corner right now with Sfundo Dube with the put into that line out as the ball is thrown in. And it is St. Charles who have managed to get the ball. It does look as if St. Charles are still looking to fight and try to find a way back into this game. But maybe it could just be a little too late with the kick there being sliced and just not going so far, with Graeme College now getting another opportunity to get possession of that ball and perhaps just wind down the clock.
Yeah, as you said, winding down the clock would be a good tactic here. Even if St. Charles had to score and convert, they'd still be 2 points down. So the result would go Graham's way. So for Graeme, what they would want to do is possibly slow the game down, play in this area of the field, just consolidate possession. But that's really not the way, as we can see. This is the type of Eastern Cape rugby that we're used to. They're going to put the ball through their hands. They're going to play a fast-paced game.
With Graeme College now still in the attack of the ball with Kepe playing to Sam. Sam with a little step and another one, but is eventually swung to the ground by Jared Duplessis. Kepe eventually plays it wide. Oh, such a close opportunity for Graeme College to really add on the scoreboard there, but unfortunately it's Ngobile Makalima who fails to gather the ball, with St. Charles now in possession of that ball. An opportunity to clear, and they've done just that. Finding touch. Not finding touch, it seems, as the ball's moved straight back, because it was taken into the 22. St. Charles there will really be kicking themselves as they remain deep inside their half. An opportunity for Graeme really to try steal this game now with just under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, that might have been St. Charles's last opportunity there to stay in the game as a contest, as the ball's in the hands of Graeme College. We'll just see what they've got at their sleeve here. You would assume that they'll take the ball off the top. Again, they lose it. But it's lost by St. Charles, regathered by Graeme. Just a few meters out here. Pick and go by their tight forwards. Looks like they've got the penalty advantage to go blindside, but it's lost. They still have the penalty. You would think that they would tap and go here. Although some of the forwards, there's a bit of indecision whether they should go for the scrum, tap and go, or take the line out. They've decided to take the scrum. The forwards have backed themselves. Be interesting to see whether they use a set move.
Of course, now we do have just under a minute to go in this game. It'll be interesting now to see really how Graeme College approach this one, as they're almost certain now to become the winners of this second game of day 2 at the St. John's College Easter Rugby Festival. The feed in there for Graeme College, but it does seem as they've left the ball behind. And the referee has in fact called that one, and it is Graeme College in the end who are the victors, beating St. Charles by 19 points to 10. In the end there, Bryce, it was a really tight game, but Graeme College really stamped their authority early on, and they eventually played out and managed to secure the win, with, of course, St. Charles failing to score any points in that second half.
Yeah, a few handling errors in the second half. The result could have gone either way if the teams had to capitalize on the opportunities available. St. Charles didn't manage to do that. So for Graeme, after losing on day 1, they'll be happy with this result on day 2, getting themselves back on an even footing. That's the game. More action to come for the remainder of the game. We'll see you then.